Gun in my right hand, the phone in my left.
Somebody's trying to get in my house. I'm terrified. Please hurry, please.
Tonight, only on 3TV, what would you do if an intruder broke into your house? While 1 in 3 people have a gun inside their home, most are never put in the position to have to use it to save themselves. So tonight we're going to hear, for the very first time, a Valley widow who was forced to shoot an intruder. And Nicole had a chance to sit down and talk with her, and I can only imagine what that was like for her.
Yeah, you know, this is one of those times where, Brandon, we get to take you beyond the headlines to see how the stories we cover so often really changed lives. And this woman, she's a survivor. 3 years ago this week, she survived being badly beaten and had to recover from some unexpected trauma from pulling the trigger.
911, where is the emergency?
Hey, please help me. Somebody's trying to get in my house. And they tied my front door and my cut door. Now they're trying to break in my back gate. All right, I have a gun in my hand. I'm terrified.
You can hear the panic in Cindy Bulk's voice.
I knew he was going to come in the house.
That early morning 3 years ago, still vivid when Michael Lewis, homeless and high on meth, broke into her home.
Please hurry, please.
So then I walked down the hallway, had the gun in the phone. I was already on the phone with 911 at that point.
She could hear Lewis work his way around the house, checking the windows and doors before jumping the wall and breaking in the sliding glass door.
Somebody's banging on my Arcadia door.
I seriously went into pure panic mode. I mean, I wasn't even awake yet.
Cindy hid in the bathroom.
Gun in my right hand, the phone in my left.
Lewis found her.
The screaming that you hear in there, that wasn't me, that was him coming at me. And he just threw one punch after the other with both hands.
But nothing really prepares you, unless you do have military training or law enforcement training, for shooting at a person.
Phoenix Police Sergeant Alan Fole says even gun enthusiasts usually only shoot when hunting or aiming at targets at the range.
Because it's not normal to point a weapon at somebody and potentially take their life, there's always the trauma that somebody will deal with after the event has taken place.
Cindy shot Lewis in the stomach, and while it may have saved her life, it stole something from her.
I'm thinking, what did I do? So then the guilt kicks in, like, what did I can't believe I just shot another human being. That was probably the hardest part for me of the whole situation, was it knowing that I just shot a child.
Lewis was 21, just a couple years younger than Cindy's own son.
The normal inclination is to push these experiences down and not think about them.
Licensed professional counselor Cheryl Smith says it's common for victims of violent crimes to shut down to cope.
Oh, my eyes were black, and I had a big cut across my nose.
Cindy spent 8 days in the hospital, 3 in ICU, and nearly a year in a wheelchair with chronic debilitating nerve damage. And more pain you couldn't see persisted well beyond the healing bruises.
I went through a horrible situation, and I lived through it, but I stopped living inside.
She went through PTSD counseling for more than a year.
The most important thing is to recognize what's happening so that you can get over it.
It just depends what triggers the memory.
Sergeant Fole says in cases like this, many victims move. Cindy couldn't. Not only because she couldn't afford it.
Because this is all the memories I have of my husband.
Her husband, who taught her how to shoot, had just passed away 4 months before the break-in. Cindy said she wasn't about to be robbed of those memories shared here with him, too. As for the gun she doesn't own anymore, she says she didn't want to use it, but doesn't regret it.
But I'm glad I had it, because there's absolutely no doubt in my mind he would have killed me. He would have killed me.
Lewis was sentenced to a year in prison and 4 years probation.
So she said if
Wow.
it happened again, she might consider running out the front door instead of going to hide. And she said it just happened so quickly.
Yes, you
You're not
don't
thinking of
know
all
if
your
there's going to be
options.
another person, if there's 1 or 2 of them,
Right.
breaking into your home. The other thing, too, is when you're dealing with these guys and they're so cracked out on meth or whatever drug they're high on, she's absolutely right. She easily could have died. But when you go and you train with a gun at a shooting range, an instructor will always tell you, before you purchase that gun, are you ready and willing to actually fire it off and shoot somebody, even if it is to save your own life?
To aim it at a person.
It is.
And you know what?